Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by the Topoco Lodge. And I'm going to ask you to check out their Facebook page. Check out the Facebook page for Topoco Lodge. Of course, you can always go to topoco.com to learn more, but right now they have tons of photos on their Facebook page, new drone footage that shows just the size and scope of their footprint up there in the mountains. It is a beautiful place, surrounded by river and forests, and great place to, there are hiking trails and biking trails and fish, and you name it, they've got it. They talk about the fact that it's a place where you can have adventure if you're looking for it and sanctuary if you're looking for it. Topoco Lodge, topoco.com, and check out their Facebook page to learn more about their cabins, suites, and rooms. Okay, we continue our march through history as we're trying to have a little bit of Americana here. We go from Gettysburg one day forward to July 4th, 1863. That was the day that the Confederate Army surrendered at Vicksburg. So I want to know which Tennessee football game of the last 35, 40 years is Tennessee's Vicksburg game, and here's how I describe that. Vicksburg game, major, hard-fought, upset victory in a very tough road environment, just like the U.S. Army pulling the upset at Vicksburg, the Gibraltar of the Confederacy, as it was known. You've got the 1992 34-31 win at Georgia. That was Philip Fulmer's game. You look at 2001, Tennessee outlasts Florida 34-32 in the Swamp. 2003, Tennessee strangles Miami, where Miami had not lost at home in 1,000 games. And then 2004, Tennessee goes down and upsets Georgia in Athens again. So, gentlemen, what is your Vicksburg game and why? Mike Strange.
Well, those are all good choices. I would start by ruling out Tennessee-Miami just because it wasn't a conference game, but
just because it was my choice.
Yeah.
And when I first sent it to you, you said it's brilliant.
Yeah. No, I would go, I proposed the 1992 game at Georgia where Philip Fulmer's an interim coach. They go down there, they win a thriller, and Philip Fulmer won a lot of hearts and minds from Tennessee fans that day. So I think that kind of, you know, as we know, the way the next few weeks played out there, I think that was a very turning point game in Tennessee history. It's also very hard to not pick the 2001 win at Florida also, though.
I think Lincoln had referred to Vicksburg. It freed up the Mississippi River. The key to the Confederacy was in his pocket. So you could say that the key to the coaching job at Tennessee was in Philip Fulmer's pocket after that 92 game?
Maybe so, yeah.
All right. Josh, where are you going on this?
Well, I'm probably choosing between the two in the middle, Tennessee at Florida in 01 and Tennessee at Miami. I mean, the Miami game was so important because of what the Hurricanes had just done in Knoxville before that. Yeah. That's the Kellen Winslow game afterward with the soldier rant and all that. Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of factor that in here. I think I actually go Tennessee-Miami. It's non-conference, but it's a huge name, Miami, and that's at a time where Miami is just rolling with the level of talent that it had. And the next year, Tennessee gets back to winning the East, so the program kind of rebounds from 02-03 not being very good for the Vols. So just the surprise element of Tennessee going to Miami, considering all that the Hurricanes had and the Derek Tinsley play, I'm going to go with Tennessee-Miami. Also because I always end up calling that 01 Florida game for certain plays like the Travis Stevens play and different things.
So you're going to break away from it
I'm finally breaking away from Tennessee-Florida 01. I'm going to go Tennessee-Miami.
I would go Tennessee-Miami for historical reasons. It wasn't, Gettysburg was a 3-day battle. The Union had to beat the Confederacy. It was 40 days at Vicksburg. It was a siege. Mm-hmm. It was just grinded out. Mm-hmm. That Tennessee-Miami game was 10-6. The defense, no one thought Tennessee could go to the Orange Bowl where Miami hadn't lost in many, many games. I should have looked that up before today. I forget what their win streak at the Orange Bowl was before that. No one thought that the defense could go down there and just shut them out the way they did. And to hold them to 6 points, to me, that felt like a siege type of victory. So I will go Tennessee-Miami.
I don't know where this figures in the Vicksburg analogy, but I just have to say Dustin Colquitt had such a great game in punting, and that played into, the low-scoring, grinded-out field position type game.
I'm trying to think of special teams for the Union at Vicksburg that would have matched that. I can't come up with it. I'll try and think of something. But no, the Miami thing's good. The Florida game, in terms of picking people's favorites, I think that Tennessee-Florida game from 2001 is going to be what everybody remembers as their favorite. But if you're trying to compare this to a historical battle simply because it's 4th of July weekend, the circumstances I think would be the Tennessee-Miami. And Mike goes Tennessee, Georgia. Chuck, you got one?
No, I don't have one.
He didn't care enough to even vote, much like you at home. All right, when we come back, we got one more historic, and we're playing loose with the dates here. But come on back, we got one more. Then we're going to talk about all the debates over nicknames, how long it's going to take before that hits Ole Miss and the SEC, and also Tennessee going digital mobile tickets this year. I think there's a downside to that. We'll discuss that. Come on back on the Sports Source.